Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Friday, the 1st of March. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Okie doke, we've arrived in March. We've said goodbye to February. See ya. Don't want to come back again soon. We've arrived in March. That is where we are. So heads up for Friday selections. I've gone a little bit on the larger side, I think it would be fair to say. So the stake plan for Friday is 28, a smidgen under stake and a half. I had a look back. That is the fifth biggest amount we have done this year. So yeah, we're just starting month 3, and that's the fifth highest staking amount. So generally speaking, it's been low stakes recently, but the meeting at Lingfield is the one that sort of caught me slightly unawares. I had not been paying attention to this upcoming meeting at Lingfield. Lingfield is not necessarily a track where you can get some consistent results, but what you've got on Friday's Lingfield meeting is some decent quality and prize money pretty much across the card. So that's where there's a higher level of concentration. I've got a couple of races at Newbury, a couple at Newcastle, a couple at Dundalk, and then 6 races at Lingfield. So 12 races in total in it. I've got an interest in, half of them at Lingfield. So I'm always mindful when we go a little bit on a bigger stake, and particularly after a bad run. And then when I stack on top of that the main amounts going on at Lingfield, which is not a track historically the stats have been good for over a long period of time, albeit this is a much higher quality meeting than you normally get at Lingfield in terms of handicaps, certainly. So we will see. We still, I remember on January the 1st I went very big. I went 30 something quid and lost most of it. It was New Year's Day, 1st of January, it wasn't good. Let's see if 1st of March can be any better. Going to go through those. I appreciate if those of you stayed up. It's a very late upload, so I'm not going to kind of keep you waffling on today. So we'll do a quick review of Thursday, and then we'll get into Fridays. The golf, there's not much to mention on the golf. There was 3 golfers, and they've all had a pants start, so that's the golf mention done. And the only other thing I was going to mention is, well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that when I get to one of the horses. That'll give me a trigger point. So Thursday we had 5. One was a non-runner. That left us the 2 main ones at Taunton with each way double. Julie were both backed in. One was backed in pretty quick after the video. I kind of clocked about 25 minutes after the video. I think the first horse dropped a few points, and then it wasn't until the morning when it went really short. I think it was 11-2, 14s on the channel. And then the second horse was 25 to the channels, but 25 for the channel. You could have got 28s. Went all the way in to single figures, and then all the way back out again to 22s. So one of them shortened up, one of them went in and drifted back out again. So, one on each point scoring system you like. But yeah, first one was third, the next one was second. So we were set up really, really nicely. All we needed is a couple of single figure horses at Chelmsford. One ran an awful race. I mean, there's definitely, it seems to be a higher number of horses at the moment who he literally, the race it's gone at the start. So whether or not there's anything untoward or not, I don't know, but there definitely feels there's a high number of horses that just seem to blow the start or just look very, very keen, and the jockey can't seem to control them or whatever. I don't know, it's very strange. And then the last horse, blanket finish, like nothing in it between the first 4, and we came off worst. So we were 4th and needed top 3. I mean, to be fair, that was the difference. That would have been another 15 quid back return. So as it was, the channel stats had it as 9 on 20.56 back, so profit 11.56, which does mean that we arrive on Friday for the week £3.56 to the profit. We did finish February minus 132, so certainly pretty bad. Worst month ever for the channel, September 2023, we lost 162, and then the second worst will be last month, and then there was a couple of other months in 2023 we lost 123, 117. So I know it's been really bad, and I know there's not been loads to cheer about, but there is precedent for kind of quite how bad it's been. What I would say is the strike rate is lower, and that's the bit that's sort of concerning me really in terms of how February looks, and a little bit of January, the latter half of January. The strike rate just was a little bit lower, and I have been fiddling about with price points and stuff that I'm looking at. But to be honest, I don't think it's the selections particularly. I just think if I actually look at the stats for February, by some way, it's the lowest amount of money we've staked in a month. And I know that sounds dumb to say we staked the lowest amount of month in any month ever on the channel, and we hit the second highest loss. But that is often the way, in the way that I do things. When I'm staking lower, it's easier to lose a higher amount. When I'm staking higher amount, then basically there's more chance of winning a higher amount. So there's lots of little graphs, you know, if I had a load of digital stuff on the screen that I could show you that basically sort of suggests that on average, the higher stake, the more likely you are to win. The lower amount of stake, the more likely you are to lose. So yeah, if you go that the same science goes through. If you go like the worst weeks we've had, some of them have been the lowest staked weeks. So yeah, generally the strategy is better when I find more things. I have found more things for Friday. I want to be honest. I'll say I found more things, but I am completely aware from a channel confidence point of view that confidence on the channel will be a little bit on the low side. It's probably it's probably underplaying it a little bit, but yeah, we're not in great shape as far as 2024 goes. I'll always say the history of the channel is a bit different to that, but you know, if you're judging it on a calendar year or you're judging it on the last 3 months, the performance isn't very good. But yeah, that's the stats. That's where we're at. So yeah, we don't end the month very well. We are slightly up for the week. That is a plus point, and we did have a profitable day, albeit a small one, on Thursday. Question is, as we get into the weekend, what can we do? So we've got Friday, Saturday looks decent, and the Maidan meetings that have been on Fridays is on Saturday this weekend, and Sunday looks potential. So we will see. Looks, considering we're this close to Cheltenham, decent amount of racing, albeit Friday selections. There's only 2 horses on the jumps. The rest of it's all weather. So 5 bets, 28 quid. Strap yourself in. Here's the rundown. So we're starting off this one. So there's 1 Yankee, 2 split leg Yankees. The 2 split leg Yankees are what I would say are the main bets, where I've tried to put, I think, what I've tried to put the better selections in, and there's slightly more stake. So this is sort of like the third bet, if you like, and the other 2 ones I've got is 1 standalone double and 1 combination double. So this is the sort of slightly weaker of the 4 horse bets, I think. Doesn't mean it's not going to pop in, but yeah, we've got the 130 Lingfield Abu Royale 11-1. So that's the I think it's the only race on the Lingfield card that isn't a Class 2 handicap, so slightly lower quality. So Abu Royale 11s. Then the 150 Newbury. There was a bit of a debate on this one. So the Bomber Liston 13-2, shortest horse I've got today. If all I'm looking at is the form, I think it's a good price still at 13-2. It's backed in a little bit. The one watch out, and this is going to link into what I was going to say about Cheltenham, is it's the only horse running today for Nicky Henderson. Freddie Gordon's running on for him, taking off £3. And obviously people have sort of seen a lot of stuff in the press about Constitution Hill and Nicky Henderson. Constitution Hill's a bit under the weather. If you actually look at Henderson's horse, there's a problem in the yard. It's not just Constitution Hill, right? I haven't seen anyone writing anything about it, but it's quite clear. If you look at the form, he had a horse on Monday that was 5th of 7th. He had 4 horses run Saturday, 3 pulled up and 1 was fine, and it was 3rd. And then if you go back to Thursday, he had 3 horses at Doncaster, they all pulled up. So of the last 8 runners he's had, 6 have pulled up, and none of them were big prices. So that is a standalone statistic for Henderson horses to have that many pull up in a short amount of time. Suggests there is a bit of more of a problem in the yard than just Constitution Hill. So it might be one for people to be mindful of as we approach Cheltenham, because yeah, if stuff goes round in a yard, it really can impact a lot of horses, particularly if they're out running and they don't realise until it's too late the horses are mixing and whatnot. So let's see. I'm not saying necessarily watch out for Sergino, because Sergino did a run out with Constitution Hill and Constitution Hill went very well, but I would be a bit mindful. Anyway, third horse in the bet, 237 Lingfield Ballon d'Or. So I've put this in this one because it's the only 3-year-old only handicap at Lingfield, so I'm less keen on those, but I did like that at a price. It's 18s, as I think. I think it is. I couldn't remember if I said it once. And then 335 Newbury. The other one I've gone with at Newbury is Henrietta Knight's horse, and Kaylin Queen. I mean, whether I've butchered that Gaelic name, it's probably very likely, but that's how I've said it out loud, so I apologise. 25 to 1, 7 runner, no extra places. The front two look good, but that horse is the one that could trouble them, I think. If it wasn't for Henrietta Knight, to be honest, I would be a little bit more keen. She's only come back training, she's been off for however many years, and so far her horses have done nothing since coming back. Like literally, I think she's had 7 runners and they've not got anywhere near framing, so none of them have come back with any prize money, not even £1 so far from any of her runners. So I'd like to see a little bit more performance from some of her horses, to be fair, and she's not had this one very long and it's come over from Ireland. But I actually think the flatter track at Newbury should suit. And just be clear, terminology, I know not everyone gets that. When we say flatter track, means a lot of tracks are undulating. They go up, they're down, they have dips. And it's quite deceptive if you watch it on racing. You can't always see the differences. Newbury is a pretty flat track. There's not really much hill going on there. It's pretty flat. Bit like Kempton flat track, Aintree flatter track, Cheltenham undulating. Certain horses will do better on a flatter track. I think that horse, from what you've seen of it, that one in the 335, I think flatter track will suit. But let's see how her horses run to form. But from a price point of view, I had it marked up about 9s, so that's why I think 25s is worth taking, even though I'm not convinced about the stable. 20p each way Yankee, 50p win single on Abu Royal, 50p win single, and then 50p each way singles on the bottom two, nothing on Bomberliston. Sky come out best for extra places, then Paddy 365 are the same as Hills, Betfair, MGM, Betfred, Betway and Unibet, but you would get bog if you do the bet in the morning. So Paddy 365 slightly edge it, and then the others. That's 690. That's bet 1. Bet 2. So one of the main ones, I would say. So all Lingfield. This is the class 2 4-year-old upwards handicaps at Lingfield. So 202, and I've missed one out because I didn't like it. I think it was the sprint I missed out. 202 split-legged at Incrimination at 10s, Jilly Cooper at 12s, 347 First Emperor at 18s, 422. It's quite a competitive race, but I was looking at whether that might be a combo double race, but in the end I've gone with what I think is the strongest selection, definitely from value. So Daisy at 22s, and then 457 Lorado 50s. I think that's a really good price, and you can get 66s in places. I think the watch out there is there's a few bookies that are not in line. It's quite variance. I think it's 365 at the time of making this video, but only 28s. So make sure you're having a look around. You can get 66s with Paddy and Betfair at the time of making this video. 2 times 10p each way Yankees. So that's Incrimination on First Emperor, Daisy and Lorado, and then Jilly Cooper on First Emperor, Daisy and Lorado. 50p win singles on Incrimination and Jilly Cooper. 75p each way single on Lorado. So the bigger price one, we're going to 75p each way single. And then in this box, the middle two, First Emperor and Daisy, they are 50p each way singles and a 25p each way double. So there's a little extra double on those two in that bet, which makes it 940. Sky come out best with extra places. Everybody else is pretty much the same. Obviously, if you've got a bog bookie, that would be preferable. So 940 is the bet for bet 2. And then we'll get into the smaller bets. combo double, this is what I've gone with. Wouldn't be everyone's choice, I know. 202 Lingfield, Incrimination and Jilly Cooper, 10s and 12s. Going on the 8:15, the last race at the night at Dundalk. Charlize, which has already won a couple of races at nice prices. I think there's some good mileage at 22s. I really think that horse will go off shorter, but let's see. And then Mick Dad, which the day we went to Dundalk for the meet-up, that horse won on that day. And I think 25 is a good price. I think last time out it wasn't so good, but I think back at the distance, Mick Dad 25 looks fine. So 4 times 25 each way doubles, £2 is the bet. Sky Best, then Paddy or 365, then Hills, Betfair, MGM, Betfred, Betway or Unibet. Note, for a long time we've been saying Hills and 888 are not good today, not good for Friday, so I should be ignoring them. And then Bet4, double of the day, I got 2 50-1 shots in a couple of all-weather handicaps. That doesn't happen very often, that I find a couple like that I like, and I do like these two. I think they are very, very overpriced. It doesn't mean they're going to win or guarantee to frame. I just would have them a lot shorter than 50s. Global Spirit, you can forgive last time out. The hood came off too late. If you watch the race back, hood came off late, got stuck at the back. The horse likes to be run prominent, so I'd expect a better display. The watch out is, it's a 9-year-old, which is why the price is good, so that's in our favour. It does seem to run well mostly when it's been fresh. It ran well fresh first time out this season. So if it can get to near that the performance of the first time out this season, I think the horse definitely could be competitive off that price. 40p each way double on the 2 50-1 shots. Sky Best 365 second best, because you can't get. I think it's a Global Spirit race. There's a couple, including Paddy, that are not 4 that usually would be. So Sky Best, then 365, then Hills, Unibet, MGM, Betfred and Betway, 80p for Bet4. And then finishing off, we've got a couple of bits running on to some of these horses, but if the standalone bet is about a third of our whole stake, Bet5. 6:30 Newcastle, Global Spirit 50s, 7:30 Newcastle, We Fat Mac at 9s, 7:45 Dundalk. The day that we went to Dundalk, Special Angel was second for us at 50-1. Certainly was in places. 14-1. We're going Special Angel again, back down to the right distance, and then 8:15 Charlize and Mick Dad 22s and 25s. 2 times 10p each way Yankees. So this split leg is the first 3 going on to Charlize, and then the first 3 going on to Mick Dad. 75p each way single on Global Spirit, and then the bottom 3, the Dundalk trio, 50p each way singles, 890s the bet, Sky our best, 365 second best, and then Hills, Unibet, MGM, Betfred and Betway. That's Bet5. Alright, I think that is the extent of my offering for you this evening on this Friday the 1st of March. So well done if you stayed up and watched this one. I didn't intend it to be so late at all. I've been at it for quite a lot of hours, to be honest. I wasn't planning for it to be so late. I got a little bit underestimated the Lingfield meeting, to be fair. So plan is next video. I think it's much more likely next one will be Saturday morning. Outside chance I'll do it Friday night, but most likely Saturday morning, where we'll be starting on Tips the League for March. And bear in mind, because we've got the break coming in a few weeks' time, there is only 4 Saturdays in March. There is 5 Saturdays in March, but 4 Saturdays where we're doing the Tips the League, because after the 23rd of March, I shall be going on the channel break from regular videos. Just a reminder that is, I've planned that in, and it's time for me to just focus more on family and fitness, basically, and just take a break from regular videos. I know some people get it, but it's quite draining, and because I take a responsibility for the fact that I'll give you guys schedule and I like to stick to it, and timings might be out at points, but in terms of when I'm due to make a video, I like to stick to the commitment I've made. I like to give you your money's worth, and so time for me to focus on family and fitness and have a kind of solid break away from the channel for what is planned to be 6 months. The reality of that, I don't know till I start getting there, but I'm not just going to disappear into the ether without saying something. So 6 months, but within that time I have said there may be days I pop up and do a video if there's something I really particularly like, or I can't keep away, and I'll also use some of that time to do some of the videos about just some basic stuff like how to do things, but also about how I would read form and stuff, because I appreciate lots of people have kind of got questions on that. Some people will, literally just think I've got a set of plastic darts and start shoving them on a newspaper or something, I'm sure. But yeah, maybe I'll just do a video doing that. That'll be the big reveal, just me and a dartboard and the racing post on the wall. And like, yeah, which one have I gone for? Oh, darts hit that one. That's what I've got. Oh, it's sort of gone between two horses. Well, we'll do that as a split leg Yankee then. That's how it works, isn't it? All right, you have a good day, and most likely I'll see you Saturday morning. Thank you very much. Bye bye.